station. And don't forget, you can watch us too. We're on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We're catching up with Miss Orionna Coleman. She's making Mississippi Founders. She noticed that space is needed for like-minded people, business owners, entrepreneurs, entertainers, all the visionaries, and an opportunity for them to come together. And her husband have done that. So she's come here to tell us a little bit more. So welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Orionna.
Orionna.
You know, the one time I practiced so many times, and then it push comes to shove, and then. But anywho, so I appreciate your kindness. But okay, Miss Coleman. So tell me how all this came together. Is this you and your husband's sort of idea to bring this about?
Yes.
Now you guys are entrepreneurs yourself, so you have a heart for that. Tell us about your businesses.
Yes, ma'am. So in 2023, we felt a strong calling to become full-time entrepreneurs. On my end, I was in a work area where I knew I couldn't return back to that environment. Mm-hmm. I actually had just had that third child that I just told you about off air, and I just knew it was time for something else. After praying about it, God was like, "It's time to bet on you." What I didn't know was in the years of after graduating, I graduated here in Jackson, Mississippi from Jackson State University, did really, really well, mass communications major, did all those things, and I went into the field. I was one of those people that got the degree and actually went to go get a job.
You used it?
I used the degree. So after I got into journalism, newspaper, all those things, God was like, it's time for you to use all that experience that you've gained and put it into your business. And the last job that I had before I became a full-time entrepreneur was actually in public relations, where everything from writing an article to taking pictures to everything that I had gained from college up until that point was going to be needed into the field that we went. So my husband and I went full-time into our business Story Studios. We're thankful. We were doing it on the side the whole time, doing weddings for people or interviews for people out of our living room and things of that nature.
Videography or
videography and photography. So
photography.
What my pitch, when people say, what is your business? I say Story Studios is a media marketing and production agency formed to tell the stories from the first person point of view. So what I mean by that is people can hire us to tell their stories through photography. They can hire us through a podcast like you have right now, but it's on their own platform and you get to hear their voice. So you get to hear it from the first person's perspective. And it's mainly for businesses that need consistent media, like schools. Like one of our top clients is a school district that consistently needs to put things out to let people know how they're doing, let the parents and the community know, and things of that nature. So we get to benefit by meeting with them on a maybe bi-weekly to 3 times a month basis to tell their stories.
What gave you the courage to finally step out? It's one thing to have it on the side. It's another thing because it sounds like, Orionna, you and your husband both do this together.
Yes.
And I feel like, and the reason why I ask that is because undoubtedly somebody else who's listening to Good Things has that side gig, but it's pulled between two worlds.
Yeah.
So, what was it about it that finally you had that piece to kind of say, hey, I'm going to step out, maybe give this a try?
I actually did it in the middle of chaos because, like I said, I couldn't go back to the job area as far as for my mental health state. I knew it wasn't a place that I needed to go back to. And I knew I didn't want to go back down that road of trying to do the 9-to-5 thing all over again. I, like any other American, any other worker, anyone, we have a dependency on the job. We love what we call job security. And I had to go against my fears, and I had to choose faith. I that's the honest truth. I had to literally choose faith. I wanted to make sure I had enough money. I wanted to have, they say wait till you have 3 to 6 months of your bills, ready and saved up. But I was in a situation where I literally had to just step out on faith and trust God. And I will say that we had family that supported us. One in particular, we had an aunt that came to us and she said, hey, I don't want y'all to worry about any bills. How many family members do you know will come to grown people and say, hey,
that's a God wink.
That was a God thing. Like it was so many God things that happened. She came to us and said, I don't want y'all to worry about it.
The way you think it'll look like in terms of like landing your greatest client the first week or whatever.
Because it did not happen like that.
But there are those winks of like, okay, like, you're being taken care of.
And that, to answer your question fully, that really was the push. Her saying, hey, you don't have to worry about this. you take care of your dreams, you follow your dreams, you and your husband fully do this, because she's seen us do it on the side.
Well, I was just going to say, she must have saw the work that you guys had done, and the proof was in the fruit of it, right? And sort of that way.
So she did that, allowed us to just fully focus on our business. We did that, and now we're in a position to say, hey, we can breathe again. We're full-time entrepreneurs. We pay ourselves. We can pay our bills with the income that we make on a monthly basis, and we're just blessed. So now the goal is to continue to grow. Making Mississippi actually came the same year that we became full-time entrepreneurs. I know that sounds crazy, but actually it was kind of like the catalyst into us doing what we're doing now.
Well, you knew it was needed.
It was something that we needed. So you all have a beautiful book in the green room that highlights Mississippians. That's basically what I'm doing. Just I'm continuing that. What I'm doing is seeing people around me that are doing great things and saying, I want to talk about the good things of Mississippi. I'm like, when we go places, I know. When we travel, you probably can attest to this. How many times do you say you're from Mississippi and people just smile? They'll be like, oh, you're from Mississippi? Oh, that's a great place.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No.
I've been to L.A. I've been to Atlanta. We tell people, first of all, they can hear it.
Yes, they can hear you coming.
They can hear it. But another thing that they say, they don't think of anything positive for the most part.
Ooh, and you're like, we have running water.
Yeah.
We wear shoes when we want to.
Yeah, when we want to. we wear shoes. Like, slavery's over. Like, let's say that too. And we're good. Everyone's good. And a lot of people don't think that. So I'm like, as someone who went to school for journalism, someone who has a passion to tell stories, someone who loves to talk, I'm going to be the one that tells our story, or at least one of the ones. I know I'm not the only one. I know you're doing it too.
No, and there's the blue ocean out there in terms of that. Like, I think the more mediums and the more avenues and the more channels that, these good stories and these people who are making an impact get their face shown or their story shared, I mean, that is definitely a good thing. This is, the radio medium, and we are honored and privileged to do that. But those same people who come in here and have their story shared here, man, I want them on every television station. I want them in every newspaper. I want them in, any kind of way that you can, because that's how you just reach a larger audience about the good stuff that's going on, with our state. I mean, that's what they do with the bad news, right?
I was about to say that. Me and you are synced. We really are.
One bad headline is on every
news outlet,
print, TV, radio, all the places.
And Rebecca, I truly believe that if we pushed out more good, it could have the same impact. But we have to be just as adamant about doing that like we are with the bad. And I'm just on that side where I'm like, I'm gonna preach the good news. I'm gonna say, hey, these are some great people in the state of Mississippi doing some great things to make our state look good. They're entrepreneurs. They're employing people. They're keeping the business inside of our state. They're keeping their talents inside of our state. They're working well in their businesses. I know last year we honored Sam Sones, who's a representative of Farm Bureau out of the Brookhaven, Mississippi office, and he's the top agent. So we honored people like that to say thank you for making Mississippi matter. That's our slogan. People who are making Mississippi matter. That's what matters.
So the Making Mississippi that you guys started at the same time of Story Studios. Story Studios is an actual business that you guys do in telling stories.
Mississippi is like our brand that's under that.
So is this
umbrella.
like an event, or is this like a channel that you guys do this through, or using your other talents to kind of put together these stories? What is Making Mississippi?
So Making Mississippi is its own brand. It's under the Story Studios umbrella, but we only focus on the Mississippi component of telling people's story from the state of Mississippi. Right now, we're doing it with a gala. The gala will be Friday, May 2nd, 2025 at the FEMA building in Brookhaven, and we bring all the honorees. We have a class. So this year is the class of 2025 honorees, and there's 7 entrepreneurs, 7 entertainers, and 7 elite people that's doing well in their 9-to-5s that we felt on our hearts that we needed to honor. So we invite them to come out and we celebrate them, and we tell them thank you for making Mississippi matter. But to further answer that question, the goal is to go even further. Since we do media, since we do podcasts and things like that, we do plan on taking this to the film level of it, of really sitting down and taking one of the honorees and telling their story from a film perspective, and maybe next year having a premiere. Instead of a gala, we'll have a premiere where people come out and they watch the film.
How many years have y'all been doing the Making Mississippi?
This is the 3rd year. This is the 3rd year. So we've been entrepreneurs ever since we've been doing it. Everything's kind of aligning together, but we're always wanting to elevate and celebrate. So it'll still be a gathering, but it'll just be us telling their story to another level.
So how do you go through the hard process of picking the set, I guess at 21?
Yes. So for us, the first year, I was speaking to my mentor, and I was like, I want to honor the entire state of Mississippi. And she was like, you might want to push back because that's a lot of people. She was like, let's start with, you're in Southwest Mississippi, so let's start in Southwest.
Let's start. I think that's a great place to start. So we're going to pause there and start back right there when we come back here on Good Thing. Downloaded that. You can find us too on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station, or you can watch us. We are on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We're continuing our conversation with Miss Orionna Coleman.
You did a great job that time.
Making Mississippi. She's one of the founders of Making Mississippi, but her and her husband of Brookhaven also have bustling careers. You mentioned Story Studios. Do y'all have another business as well?
Yes, we have We All One Record. That's We All One. Look at me messing up. We All One Records. That is a Christian recording label that my husband has. We run everything together, but I just say that's his vision because his passion is music. And so many things happened. And last year, he felt led to stop doing the secular route when it comes to music. He has been doing music for, honestly, as long as we've been together. We met when I was 14 and he was 17. So I was at his first concert that he had as an artist. And I've seen him move from Dickie J to Chris James, and now he goes by the name of Complete. He's a Christian recording artist. And after we did that, he became a Christian recording artist. He had a label formerly known as Infinite Hustle. He decided not only did he want to change his avenue as an artist to be a Christian artist, he also wanted to do it with the label. So we said goodbye, a nice goodbye to Infinite Hustle, and we created We All One Records, which only focus on Christian
Let
music.
me guess. How many of your 3 children are girls?
2.
That's why.
And their names are Harmony and Melody.
You have children, and you start thinking about things differently, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
That definitely was one of his reasons.
You start reading lyrics, and you go, oh, my.
And he was never one to do any like maybe negative type of or vulgar, but still it was still secular. And every now and then you hear a curse word, and then your kids go to YouTube and they type your name in before you know what they're saying, what you're saying. So and then also we were growing our relationship with God. So everything that we do, from Story Studios to We All One Records to Making Mississippi, we want to make sure we're glorifying God in it. Yeah. And if our career doesn't line up with our faith, we started getting convicted in that, and him more so than anything, and that's why he made a change to do what he's doing today. I
love that, because we were told to focus on the things that are good, right?
We are.
And you guys are doing that with the Making Mississippi Gala. You mentioned that you guys have found 21 people doing good things, and y'all started 3 years ago, and starting there in Southwest Mississippi. How did you start to pick those out? How did you sort of figure out who was going to be honored?
Yes. So at first I thought, let's do the whole state. But like I said, my mentor was like, let's calm down. We're in Southwest, so let's do Southwest. And before I realized it, after prayer, honestly, I kept going back and asking God for direction. I realized that the first class was right around me. I had their cell phone numbers. I talked to them on a regular basis. They were mentors, but they were also staples in the community. They weren't just people that we liked. We looked around and they were making an impact. One of the first honorees was Mr. Sam Hall, and he's the owner of First Unity Federal Credit Union in Macomb, Mississippi. He's one of the first black business owners to get a credit union after 5 years of a kind of a halt of even having a business in that category. He deserves his flowers. His cousin, Dr. Hall, who's an doctor and the owner of Anointed Nephrology in Brookhaven, Mississippi, is our mentor. But he was also making grounds in the medical field, as well as having his own practice that's successful in the area. And he's one of the only doctors in his caliber there. He deserves to be honored. And it just felt good. But we also honored Miss Melissa Davis. She is a hair salon owner, Davis and Company in Brookhaven, that we honored and said, hey, thank you for committing to making sure we look beautiful. It didn't matter. Like, for us, the caliber was, were you making an impact? Were you making an impact? Did you carry yourself in a beautiful way? Were you making Mississippi matter in that caliber of what we thought that should be? So that was our first class. The second class was a little more versed. We didn't know everyone. We invited our We All One Records teams to help us select people, but it still turned out to be good because we surround ourselves with like-minded people who have good hearts. That good is the theme of the conversation. But we surround ourselves with good people with good hearts, and they helped us select honorees too. And that flowed over into this year. So everyone that we're honoring, we may know, but some people we don't have a relationship with, but we've seen their impact. that they're making online publicly with their businesses and things of that nature. So we're very excited about it.
And that's coming up. Your third annual gala is coming up Friday, May the 2nd. Where is it going to be there in Brookhaven?
It's going to be at the FEMA building in Brookhaven, Mississippi.
And what kind of night will it be if folks are interested in it?
So it is a gala. So we want you to be
in the name. Gotta be cute.
Well, you got to be cute. We want you to come best dressed. Whatever. Let's pull out it's time to celebrate. So we want people to dress up. Pull out their nice suit. Pull out the nice dress. Put on a little heel. Put on some nice shoes. Maybe your best church outfit if you want to say that. And come out. And it's not just we're just coming out dressing up. No. I'm going to make you feel like you're at a red carpet event. Like when you come in, you're going to take pictures in front of the Step and Repeat banner. You're going to be on the black and gold carpet. You're going to walk into a fully decorated area. You're going to be seated by hostess. There's going to be a program. You're going to have entertainment. You're going to be fed. So it's an event where we take time to honor each honoree that's present, give them a time to speak, to accept their award, and have a good time together.
Any highlights for the honorees this year?
So some of the honorees this year, we actually just left one. His name is Jarvis Gibb. He's the owner of Gibb's Professional Lounge. He's a barber in Brookhaven, Mississippi, but he's also an inventor. He has invented his own hairbrush and sponge tool that he's bringing to the market for barbering, for people who do the haircuts and things of that nature. I'm kind of giving him a plug right now.
I'm thinking I need to know his contact information.
Yes, I can definitely share it with you, but he's bringing grooming tools to the industry. He invented it, and we're so proud of him. He's also has his own barbering school where he's teaching people how to become barbers, how to become people that of professional caliber in the hair industry, and he's been successful. He's been in the category of being real successful income-wise as well as impact-wise, and we just want to say we are proud of him. And we literally just left him now. He's from the same area we're from, so he's definitely making Mississippi matter, so we're proud of him for that. We're also honoring Kayla Thompson with WJTV. She's going to have us on the show next week, but Kayla, one thing that I admire about her is how she pivoted, because journalism wasn't her first choice, but after she realized that she couldn't pursue her sport that she really wanted to pursue, she really went all into journalism and has got the awards to back it up as far as like how successful she's been in the industry. And I'm not one to say, oh, I'm the only journalist that's great, I'm the only storyteller. No, if I see you doing great, I want to say, hey, I commend you. There's, like you said, the ocean is full. It's blue. It's big enough for everyone to succeed. So we want to give her flowers. Tashi Allen is from Jackson as well. She is an entertainer. We went to school together, but if you search her name, if you Google her name, you will see that she's impacted over hundreds and thousands of people on social media. That's what she's well known for, as a social media influencer. And she's doing really well and making you feel good through laughter. She likes to make a lot of different content and things of that nature. And she actually hosted our gala last year and did a really good job. So we're honoring her as well.
Where can folks get tickets if they feel inclined to?
Yes. So you can go to makingmississippi.gala.eventbrite.com, and you will see a beautiful picture of my husband and I, as well as a picture of the honorees. Plug in for hubby. A picture of the honorees, and you can purchase your ticket. You can get a table that'll seat 8 people, or you can just come and get one individual ticket, and I promise you'll meet a friend there that you can sit with.
You mentioned in the future, Orionna, that you want you guys to share it in terms of like a documentary sort of style, but right now, are y'all using any other platform to share their individual stories?
Yes, so we are posting them on our social media pages, Making Mississippi Media on Facebook and Instagram right now, and we'll do TikTok as well, and then we also do our story studios and our personal platforms. We share their stories.
What is it like getting to tell your honorees that they're being honored or getting their flowers? And do they get flowers? Do you give them flowers?
I love that concept, and we may need to add that, but they get some really nice award plaques.
I figured that.
They get really nice award plaques, and they get a foam board that, and it might sound crazy, but it's like a foam board is basically like a picture frame, but it's in foam, and it's like on some really nice fabric that's a picture of you, and that I've actually personally designed myself. It's really, really nice. I have to show you a picture of one, but they get those two things and the pleasure of the hugs and the recognition in front of, you know, a host of people that's there to support them. But I love the flower idea. I'm glad that you said that. We might have to add that into
Well, you know, it's
what we give.
Yeah, well, you said they need their flowers. Like,
Yeah.
you got to give them their flowers.
I love it. I love that.
Well, you know, it's one thing to be recognized by, you know, people in your own field or on a larger level, but there's always something special when either your hometown or your home state or people who aren't necessarily in your profession recognize that you're doing your best to, you know, to make Mississippi proud or to continue to share her stories, which I think you've got a long career. You and your husband have a long career of doing that.
Thank you so much.
So how do folks get connected with you guys? Online?
Yes.
All the things.
All the things. So you can follow me on Facebook. I'm Orionna Coleman. That's Orionna Coleman, Coleman. And you can also find me at She Complete, SHE.complete, KOMPLETE. Chris is the same. His name is with a K, Chris Coleman, and also Complete. So since he's complete, I'm She Complete.
I love it.
Compliment them. And once you follow us on our main pages, you will see the story studios, the Make It Mississippi, and the We All One connections, because we make sure everything's synced.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and best of luck to you guys.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you.
All right.
You
You
have
guys
a great
stick with
day.
us. We got more for you.